faculty or women students, but they took women postdocs for a very small salary. And actually, I got a little bored with my work and had a little extra time, and I got involved in this organization, Experiments in Art and Technology. That was a group of people who worked to bring together artists and scientists, or artists and engineers working together. And through my boss, who was formerly from Bell Labs, I got to know Billy Kluver, who was formerly from Bell Labs. They had been friends, and I was introduced to Billy, and it was suggested that I was interested in all kinds of wild things, and maybe I would get involved in art. So I got involved in the Pepsi-Cola pavilion that was put up in Japan, and my responsibility was designing the optics for the large dome that was brought in that made a real image, because my field was optics and lasers. In that show was a laser light show that I was not particularly impressed by, and so I started playing around with lasers, and I thought, well, I can be an artist too. And what is it about lasers that make it an artistic medium? Well, there was a lot of good work going on in holography, some very interesting art, and if you haven't been to the Holography Museum, you should go. But that was a bit over my head in time, etc. And I decided what I really liked about lasers is they were pretty. And you see, I still think they're pretty 50 years later. And so I thought, okay, I will work with that, and I will make laser images. And my original laser images were photographs that I made in color, nice living color. But in those days, photography wasn't a popular field. And so it was really looked down upon as an artistic field. Well, I found out about a woman who was opening a new gallery in photography on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And I went to the gallery, and I said, when I looked at what she had there, it was, you know, women and poodle dogs or something. And I said, you really need to have my laser images here. I mean, that would bring people out. So I was a good talker, and she said, all right. So she gave me the front room of the gallery, and I brought my stills. If you look at these, every once in a while it gets really pretty. So I took a bunch of stills. At the same time, I had built what we're showing here, which is nothing more than a rotating piece of glass or plastic with a pattern on it that will make these kinds of images. And I had built a home-size one with two different rotational
Discs.
motors. That one has 3 in 3 colors. 50 years ago, there was only one laser anybody could afford, and that was a red laser. And so this one was with the red laser. And I put it in a nice, beautiful black plastic box, and I thought I would sell these. I was going to sell them for $600 a piece, I think. The laser cost $300 or something. Anyway, the important point is I got the press to come. And the television people came, and I was on television, all very exciting news. Nothing happened. Nobody bought anything. Except the show was seen by a couple of filmmakers at UCLA who were trying to write their master's film, to do a master's film. And they decided they would contact me, which they did. And Ivan Dreyer and Dale Pelton came over, and at night we used our blue laser. We had a great big one that cost $15,000. In those days, $15,000 was a lot of money. And so I could do that blue that you saw in the film. The film you saw was basically many of those images that I created with using the blue argon laser and the red helium neon laser, and then various pieces of glass and plastic that we put in front of it to get all these motions. And there was a lot of really nice film work done by Ivan Dreyer to turn it into that incredibly impressive film. That was it. We formed, well, Ivan Dreyer had connections with the planetarium. He was working there as a technician, and we actually took our big argon laser down to the planetarium to demonstrate it, which I'm not sure my boss knew about at the time. And anyway, at the time that it was ready to go, we formed a company called Laser Images Incorporated. And then it turns out I was leaving to go on a year's sabbatical around the world with my husband and 2 children, and I just decided I would give this all up, and I gave it off to Ivan. He did a tremendous job for many, many years. I was off deciding that I could either be an artist or a scientist, and I decided that I made more money as a scientist than I would as an artist. And you may or may not know that 50 years ago, the only women that ever made any money at all as artists were married to famous men artists. And there was just no role for a random woman, except for Judy Chicago, I guess, who ended up being very successful. So that's the story. What have I got here? I've got, and the reason why we can do it now is that you can buy lasers. This laser here is one of these things that's called a burning laser. And let me tell you, if you want to go into the laser light show business, do not let anybody under 21 try to buy one of these burning lasers. They will blind you. And there are stories on the web of people who literally lost their sight with this laser. Very easy to do. So be very careful. This is I think it's 10 watt. I've forgotten exactly how much it is. But it's only something like $200. It's amazing how cheap it is to blind your eyes. These over there, each of those are $10 a piece. They're up to 30 milliwatts. The legal limit is 5 milliwatts. So these are already a factor of 6 over the legal limit. And if you put them like this, they will blind you. 5 milliwatts will not, but these will. So again, if you have a kid or you want to have one of these lasers to chase your cat around, don't buy more than 5 milliwatts. That's my statement of laser safety. Okay.
So I'm going to invite our Joshua White and AJ Epstein, and they'll join us on stage, and we'll talk for like 20 minutes. And then we'll have time for some questions, and we'll wrap up soon, but I hope you can stay. Okay, AJ and Joshua, come on up.
All right, this one also went flat because they're all battery operated. If you want one that plugs into the wall, it's 10 times more expensive because batteries fit lasers perfectly. But if you want to have it go into the wall, you have to have all kinds of electronics to make it work.